Hello everyone and welcome to FiST Chat, the vodcast that features discussions on the topics of film, science and technology. My name is Ben Warner and I'm joined once again by my good friend and colleague Steve Kern. How are we today, Steve?
I'm good, thanks, Ben. I've just finished my 12K run for the morning, FiST Chat fans, so I'm really looking forward to today's topic.
Well, haven't you heard you could do it all in 3 minutes a week?
And that's what we're going to be talking about.
Absolutely. But before we get into that, just our usual housekeeping, our website, FiSTchat.com. You can get all of our links there. You can subscribe to our audio via iTunes, SoundCloud, and our RSS feed, and also our videos on YouTube, Vimeo, and Digicosm TV. You can interact with us on Twitter, Google+, and Facebook. Love to hear from you. We've got our ebook, The FiST Report, at fistreport.com, hosted on Amazon, only 99 cents. It's a great read and helps to support the show. And we've also got our supplementary content, the weekly blogs, photography on Instagram and Flickr. And recommend us to anyone who you think might be interested in our weekly discussions on film, science, and technology. Now, we've got quite a few little interesting stories to get through today, but this first one, I'll tell you, when I read it, when you sent it over, I was like, yep, I got to get me some of this. 3 minutes of exercise a week can help make you fit. Surely say it isn't so.
Well, it is true, Ben. I mean, I saw this. This is off a BB documentary with Max Mosley or Michael Mosley. And he basically has tried the 3 minute a week workout. And I've been trying aspects of it, and it is very, very impressive. If you understand the science of how it works, then it's even more impressive, and it makes sense.
Yeah, just as a quick overview, a few relatively short bursts of intense exercise amounting to only a few minutes a week can deliver many of the health and fitness benefits of hours of conventional exercise, according to new research, Dr. Mosley says. But how much benefit you get may very well depend on your genes. And our test subject in that particular article found that although he had some improvement on his was it insulin levels or something?
Yeah.
But apart from that, there wasn't that much difference. But this idea of it's sort of like you're going hell for leather at maximum sort of capacity, right?
Absolutely. So just very quickly, and I'll keep this as simple as possible in terms of a science lesson. When you eat, we're taking in energy as well as the nutrients we require to function as living beings. And that energy, or there's energy in everything we eat, and that gets stored. So your carbohydrates get stored as glycogen, which is in the liver and the muscles. Okay, that's a very quick and easy energy store, and we don't normally carry more than a day's supply of energy in glycogen. That's why we always have to eat, and that's why carbs are very, very important for us as part of our diet. Beyond that, the fats that we eat and the protein that we eat not only goes into muscles and fat tissues, they also can be accessed as a source of energy if we run out of glycogen. So the idea is that if you go on a starvation diet, or if you are lost in the woods and there's nothing to eat, or you can't find anything you want to eat, after that day, you'll start breaking down mostly fat inside your body to supply you with energy. And if you get really desperate, then your muscles will start to break down as well to supply you with the energy you need to live. So what the key to this exercise is it stimulates insulin, which is the primary pathway for removing the sugar out of our body and storing it as glycogen. And the whole idea is that these 20-second bursts of intensive exercise at maximum heart rate, very important, wakes up our glycogen stores, pulls the glycogen out of our liver and out of our muscles. And by depleting that, there opens up the pathways behind that for us to break down the fats that are stored. And that's how it works.
Well, it's quite fascinating. I mean, if it could work for you, then it could save you a lot of time. I mean, I know that not that I'm a old fella by any stretch of the imagination,
If
but
a spring chicken, Ben.
but I know that say compared to 10 years ago, it's much easier to store fat than what it used to be. And the idea of getting your weekly exercise routine in, and I find is a lot more important. But the thing is, I'm a busy guy. I've got lots of things on, and fitting things in, like doing an hour or two of exercise, say in the gym every day. That's a big chunk of time to allocate it. If you were able to do it in such a short amount of time, that would be an amazing thing, wouldn't it, for people?
Well, that's right. And the reality is the workout probably takes you about 10 minutes because you have to do a slight warm up. You need to get your heart rate up to probably around 50% of maximum. And just as a rule of thumb, and you can Google this for the best calculations to do it, but 220 minus your age is your maximum heart rate. So you want to get to about 50% of the maximum heart rate. And then once you've done that for a minute or two and you're warm and your body's ready to go, you need to activate your muscles, your thighs, your legs, also your arms and your lungs, and just go very hard for 20 seconds. And in that 20 seconds, you should be able to reach your maximum heart rate. At that point, that effectively starts to break down the glycogen. And once you get through that glycogen, your body will naturally go to fats. And that's the idea behind how this works. So in reality, it's probably a 10-minute workout all up with 1 minute of intense, super intense exercise in that. And you can do that 3 times a week on an exercise bike in an apartment. You don't even need to leave the house.
No, it gets better and better as you describe it. I'm just wondering, aside from the issue of whether your genes suit this type of exercise or not, is there any other issues, like it might not be for everyone, that kind of thing?
Well, pushing to your maximum heart rate is very hard work, as anyone will tell you. Even if you generally live a sedentary lifestyle, and it's only when you're moving and you have to carry something up a flight of stairs or something, and then you find that difficult. That is very similar to what we're talking about, but working at the maximum level. So, if anyone here wants to try it, it's really easy to do. You can go for a walk in the park, and then just look for a piece of clear land and run like hell for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised if you're not particularly fit, and even if you are fit, it's very hard, very, very difficult to work at maximum heart rate for 20 seconds. It's not very long, but you really push your anaerobic capacity at that point. And it does take time. And what I've found is it's been very helpful in my training. Those 20-second bursts have actually really, really picked up my power output. So it's been very effective. On the gene side, yes, it's more effective for some people, less effective for others. But overall, it will always do everyone good because you're effectively clearing your metabolic cycles internally. And that's what's healthy about it. That's why it's such a powerful workout.
So does that mean anyone doing an hour or two long workout, is that like a waste of time?
Don't tell me I wasted, Don't tell me I wasted an hour this morning, Ben. It just means that you can get the same effect in a lot less time. That's all.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for people who, for whatever reasons, are struggling to find time or locations where they can work out. It's cheaper than a gym membership too.
Oh, absolutely. All right, we might draw a line under that, and so it's great stuff. I think
Ben, you should try it. I think it's all there online. You can check it out for yourself.
No, absolutely. I can just actually walk out my door. There's some nice open areas down there where I can go for a run just by the river. Just up and down. So I think I'll have to get stuck into it.
Yeah, it'll only take you 10 minutes this afternoon. You look like the kind of guy that loves a challenge.
Absolutely. All right, we've got a couple of news bites. I don't think we've done too many in the last couple of weeks, but we'll get into it now because there's some interesting and entertaining ones. Starting with our film news bite from the Times Online. Film director admits to ruse at Taiwan naval base. A celebrated Taiwanese film director apologized for letting an award-winning Chinese photographer use false papers to visit a Taiwanese naval base while scouting sites for a new feature film. He apologized for his negligence in not paying attention to government regulations barring mainland Chinese from entering sensitive military establishments, even though it was for, his film and, it was all of that. He said, this filmmaker, New Chenza, said on his Facebook page, "I might have gone overboard in order to make a better film." I just love this story. It's, it's all about due diligence.
It's the perfect cover, though, isn't it? Nobody can say anything about, people making films. A bit like the Iran film earlier on this year with the hostages, where they sent the film crew.
Argo. Yeah.
So, who could argue James Bond would love a cover like that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
In fact, James Bond should have pretended to become a filmmaker or something.
Imagine what he could have done saving the world, while and also entertaining us at the same time. Or does he do that already?
I don't know. He should wear a GoPro in his next film, though.
Yeah. Oh, well, that would be a totally different type of Bond film at any rate. Alrighty, we'll move on to our science news bite. Voyager 1 enters unknown territory from the ABC. I think we spoke about this last year, and it's more of an updated story in the sense that I think they reported last year that it had left the solar system, but now that they'd gone back and had a look at some of the data more closely, that they're not entirely sure if that's the case.
Yeah, pretty much they've expected on what their original estimations were that the Voyager 1 had left the solar system. And that's the point where the heliosphere, or for want of a better description, the invisible bubble of the sun's influence ends and you move into truly deep space. And they thought that Voyager 1 was close, and they've been monitoring the data and seeing the sun's influence decline, but they've been surprised because that still appears to be within that the sun zone. So nobody really knows how far the solar system extends, but data from Voyager 1 will tell us. Bearing in mind that the signal coming back from Voyager 1, which is now so far away, is the equivalent of just shining a flashlight back at Earth.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's how powerful the radio telescopes on Earth that track Voyager 1 are. They can pick up the equivalent of a torch.
Oh, it looks like the last paragraph in this article talks about the Voyager's power supply, and it looks like it's going to be running until 2020, at least for its scientific instruments, and it'll be completely out of power by 2025. So I guess they've still got a bit of time up their sleeve to sort of make use of it and collect more data.
Absolutely, yeah. It's far exceeded its original planned mission. And this is purely amazing. They do a lot to conserve its power over the last few years, and it's now trillions of kilometres away. And it's incredible that something that small, that far away, we can still track in the skies. Yeah. Just amazing.
All right, and just finally, we'll move on to our tech news bite. Twisted light may boost internet bandwidth, also from the ABC. A new fiber optic technology could increase internet bandwidth capacity by sending data along light beams that twist like a tornado rather than move in a straight line, says scientists. The discovery comes as internet data traffic is reaching its limit amid mounting demand for bandwidth by users of smartphones and internet-enabled devices, creating problems for network providers. The new technology uses optical vortices, which are like donut-shaped laser light beams. Interesting stuff. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to need more bandwidth, and we're going to need more and more and more of it as we go forward. And this is, from what I understand, it's not just a question of using different like bands of light, which they've been doing in the past. It's also about getting more through the same pipe.
That's right. So if you imagine the helical shape, it allows you more surface area so you can send more messages down that at the same time. So, I mean, optic fiber, has gone through a lot of, technological improvements over the last decade, and this is just another one. And we all know how badly we need the bandwidth. As much as everyone thinks about the cloud and wireless, really holding all our wireless systems together is actually like real physical cable.
So will we ever get to a stage where we won't need that physical cable?
I don't know. People say that, but the reality is that, the cable is the most, foolproof method of transferring the data, a physical connection.
It's much more robust as a system, yeah.
I mean, there are all sorts of ways you can interfere with a wireless signal. Goodness knows one day we might wake up, and we all got cancer from the amount of wireless internet that's getting around,
I'm sensing another FiST chat in the works there.
Well, you never know. I mean, it almost happened with mobile phones. My personal view is that they changed mobile phones enough anyway, very quickly as the technology increased and the power required went down. Right. But if they hadn't made those improvements on mobile phones, and we were all still carrying around house bricks, that may well not have been too good for us.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we might wrap it up there. So thanks again, Steve, for the chat.
Anytime, FiST Chat fans, tweet us. Let us know how you're going with your 3-minute a week workout.
Absolutely. All right, so that's it for this episode. So we'll catch you next time.